Hi everyone, and welcome to the Fishhead Creations podcast, where I pull out one of my interesting knitting projects every time and talk you through the details. A ton of apologies. I did not mean for this to be such a long break again. And apologies for the lighting. It's incredibly dark. It's, well, 2:30 in the afternoon, so not too late, and it didn't get any lighter and brighter all day, so we have to make do with what we got. I have all the overhead lights on, so it's the maximum of what I can do. I hope you can see something. So yeah, thank you for all the feedback on our Halloween special. It was a lot of fun to record that episode, and I will try to drag my boyfriend back on the show again in the future. He did enjoy it. He didn't want to admit it, but he did enjoy it, and I think it was fun to have him here. Good morning, Loki. Come here. I found us a co-host. So yeah, as I said, I did not intend for this to be such a long break after my trip to Scotland, but for one reason or other, life, I did not manage to record earlier. I hope to be back to a weekly schedule. We shall see how it works out with the light. I prefer to record on Mondays, and I'm not sure how it works out. If you cannot see anything in the video, I might have to record another day, and I might have to record another setting. I will give it all a try, find a way. But we are here to talk about knitting, aren't we? I know I still owe you my Halloween jumper. I did not bring that one this time. I brought the one that I knit in Scotland, which is my Gardengate by Jen Steingas, which each and every one of you will have seen, and everybody and their uncle has knit. Where to start? So the yarn is Knitpicks Stroll Tweed in, well, Barndor Heather and Oyster Heather? Dove Heather? I'm not quite sure. It will be on my project page and I will link it down below. Yeah, this yarn is incredibly hard to get here. Knitpicks do ship to Europe, but only to the UK, where I'm not. So I asked a friend to order the yarn for me. When she ordered Knitpicks yarn for a jumper, I was supposed to knit her. And then we met. She lives in England, and then we met up in Germany, in another city, not my city. So she carried all the yarn there as her hand luggage on the plane, and then I carried it all back on the train, on an 8-hour train ride back to my city to knit with it. So it's well-traveled yarn, but I think it's worth it. So this was my holiday knitting or vacation trip, whatever, travel knitting in Scotland. I did also knit 1.5 pairs of socks, but this was my main project I took with me. And it smells funny for some reason. I think it's my jeans. I'm wearing a new pair of jeans, and new store-bought jeans. They have a funny smell, but I couldn't wash it before I first wore it because I only had one other pair of jeans, and that was dirty, and I needed a fresh one. We're not here to talk about jeans. We're here to talk about this one. So my intention with this one was to knit it from the top down, which, as you know, is not my preferred method, and I hated every minute of it, to just down below the color work, and then I wouldn't have needed to take my contrast color. That didn't work out. I finished the last bit, maybe from those little baubles here down, on the bus to the airport, and then on the plane it was all stockinette, so I was fine, but I had to take my contrast color, which, you know, it's half a 50-gram ball of yarn that I had to stuff somewhere. I could have put that in my pocket, but yeah, I did not enjoy doing color work on the bus, at least not with this splitty, slippery yarn. So yeah, it started from the top down with a rolled neckline, which I wasn't too sure about. I'm still not. I'm not the biggest fan, but I think it doesn't annoy me enough to change it. Then after the neckline you do very rapid increases for a few rows, including some short rows. As you can see, it's raised in the back. I think it also called for short rows below the yoke, which I did leave out because I'm too lazy to furl such long rows. I only did a few sets of short rows at the top. I'm not even sure if I did the called for number of sets of short rows or fewer of them, but it does fit quite nicely. So whatever I did, it worked out. I just don't remember because it's so long ago and I did so many other things since. Yeah, then your standard top-down yoke. I could change to my larger circumference circular needle somewhere around here. The stitch count would have fit on the larger needles earlier, but the neckline or the neck opening didn't stretch far enough to allow me to use my larger needles. That's exactly why I don't like knitting the yoke part top down, because I enjoy knitting on a large circumference circular needle so much more than knitting on a short circumference circular needle. And if I go bottom up, I can just stay on the large circumference needle for as long as possible, instead of waiting and waiting and waiting for the neck opening to be far enough away for me to change to a larger needle. Yeah, whatever. Standard top-down construction. Sleeve stitches put on hold. Body knit down. I don't know if I added waist shaping, or if I did my own thing completely, or if I did anything that resembled the pattern. I don't know. But I did some waist shaping, and it looks good, I think. Then, yeah, as you do, picked up stitches again, knit the sleeves down. Same thing, I think I did the called for decrease rate. They are tight fitting sleeves. I like tight fitting sleeves. They could have used a few stitches more at the top, but I'm fine. I did 1 by 1 ribbing at the bottom. I have no idea what the pattern called for. I think something else, but it's my favorite. I just prefer 1 by 1 ribbing. And yeah, it's quite creased now because I stuffed it into my overfilled wardrobe. But it fits nicely. It's a very tight fit. I think I'm slightly below gauge and I was going for a 0 East size anyway, which I have no idea which one it was. The one closest to a 100 centimeter or 40 inch bust. The color work ended on 3.5 millimeter needle. The cast on and the ribbing on a 3 millimeter, and all the stockinette for the body on a 3.25 and 3.5 for the sleeves, just because I tend to get a tighter gauge on DPNs than on a large circumference circular. And the body bottom ribbing I didn't change needle sizes for because I forgot to bring my 3 millimeter large circulars, and I didn't care. Yeah, well, I don't think there's too much more to say about this, actually. That will be a short episode. If I'm scratching my right eye, it's because it's itching like nobody's business, because 2 weeks ago, no, 10 days ago, I was stupid enough and slightly drunk from too much wine and too little time and too little food, but stupid enough to just give my desk chair a swirl, and the edge of the chair hit me right in the eye, so it's still healing and it's itching. And I'm also, as you can hear from all my sniffling and sneezing potentially, my allergies have been acting up incredibly much recently. I'm barely able to breathe. The cat is down here, but she doesn't want to join me. Come here. Sweetie. Hey. At least you get some cat action, if I don't really have anything to say about a garment. What was I? My allergies have been acting up. I was barely able to breathe. So that makes my eyes just extra itchy. And yeah, so sorry. Where was I? I have no idea. This episode will be embarrassingly short, because that's all I have to say about this thing. I didn't enjoy the yarn very much. I do love how it looks, and apparently if I'm knitting a superwash sweater, it's usually fingering weight tweed yarn, because I have this one now. I have my Moritz tweed jumper, the green one I talked about ages ago. And I have my Halloween jumper, all superwash sock yarns. 75-25 superwash wool and nylon tweed. I do like a good tweed, and apparently tweed is what allows me to go crazy with colors and allows me not to knit in black. Because I have this one and the green one now. That's a good thing. So yeah, not much else to say about this. I actually stuck to a pattern for once. And I didn't enjoy it, so I won't be doing it again. But it was for ease of knitting when traveling. And, well, I only kind of stuck to the pattern because I have no idea if I did in the body. But most of it, the yoke and the sleeves, were knit to pattern. And I'm quite proud of it. Also, what else? I'm not sure how much I can tell you about our Scotland trip. So we went up to the west coast. We stayed in Kyle of Lochalsh. And from there I made day trips over to the Isle of Skye and on the west coast, on the mainland. We went to see Eilean Donan Castle and quite a few places on Skye, and I did start to look at prices for houses because I wanted to stay there. I didn't want to leave at all. Yeah, I didn't. It was beautiful. It was, as always, Scotland was nice to me regarding the weather. We had some rain, some storm, of course, as you do, but most of the time, as soon as we left the car, it was quite nice, and we did have quite a bit of sunshine. And also, I just enjoy rainy days. Then, what else happened? I met up with a few friends over the last few weeks. Different friends, so everyone took up another day, which was one of the reasons I didn't podcast. And then last Friday we took the cats to the vet, and yeah, only for their yearly shots and just a checkup. They were fine, and Slovak was the star of the vet office again because she always travels on a leash because she can't be bothered to go inside a carrier, but on a leash she's happy. She's very happy. So that's what we did. And every dog in the vet's office waiting room is completely confused by a cat outside a carrier that doesn't run away. It's a lot of fun. Anything else? So yeah, I did share a few photos of our Scotland trip on Instagram, so if you're interested in that, I'm sure more will be coming whenever I feel the urge to feel like I'm in Scotland again, because I miss it already. I wanted to stay. I have since finished another very involved cable garment, which I will be talking about hopefully next week, because after that I will have to send it off to its new owner, which was the other Knit Picks garment, which the yarn was ordered for together with the yarn for this one. I have a few more knitting plans, and I really should stop talking about nonsense and get knitting so I have more interesting content to share next time. I'm sorry this was such a short episode and such an unmodified garment. That's what happens when I knit a pattern. I don't know what to talk about. So I will stop here. I will let you go. Thank you so much for watching. And I obviously forgot how to do these things. My name is Anna, in case you didn't know. You can find me on Ravelry as Obsti and on Instagram as Caledoniana, and you can also find my designs, which so far are all free on Ravelry, and I will link to all these places in the description box below, as well as to the pattern and my project page for today's project, the Gardengate by Jen Steingast, which I don't have anything to say about. So thank you so much for watching. I'm really working on getting back into the swing of things. And yeah, I would love to hear from you as always, even if it's just you making fun of me being so confused. And I will try to be back with a more coherent episode next week. Thank you for watching.